Hello everybody, welcome back to WoodenRailwayStudio. For years, Thomas Wooden Railway items were sold with little information cards in the packaging, featuring a short anecdote about the included engine or vehicle. From 1999 to 2009, and in some places 2010, character cards were a popular addition in the Wooden Railway line. The card would feature a professional photograph of the engine or vehicle, and tell a short story, 2 sentences at most, about him or her. They've gone through several changes throughout the years, so let's explore how they've evolved. So first up we have the 1999 to 2000 edition. This is the first edition of character cards. I only have one from my collection. And what I did was, I found these all online on the Thomas Wooden Railway Wikia. And so I just printed them out just so you could see other examples. So I have this bill. It's from 2000. And what it features is it has a stock photo. So it's normally the prototype model. It has the engine's name in red lettering. And the old nostalgic Thomas Wooden Railway logo in the top left corner. And on the back, the engine's name is in the iconic brown label, or some people try to call it gold. I think it's more brown than anything, probably bronze. And it has an articulated figure of Sir Topham Hatt. And I find it interesting, the back is vertically arranged, so it's not horizontal. You have to twist it up to read it. And it always has a little short snippet about what the character is about. So it says, Bill and his identical twin Ben are the most teasing and mischievous characters of the whole railway family. So that was the only one that I have. And I have just some other examples to show you. Like this one, the original Thomas the Tank Engine character card. It has his prototype model. It has flat magnets and the really weird wooden funnel that's it's more of a stub than anything. And then on the back, hopefully it focuses, it says, let's see. So here we have the troublesome truck, and I thought this was interesting just because the prototype model features the white face, which is now extremely rare to find. So I just find that interesting because normally we have the gray face troublesome truck, but this one has the white face. And then here, the Henry's Forest log car. And notice how it's closed. They never made an opened Henry's Forest log car character card. So that's just an interesting fun fact. And actually, another interesting thing that I found online from the 1999 to 2000 series, this one's dated 1999, it's a character card checklist. So I don't know how people would get these. I don't know if they were sometimes included with others, or this is just a printout, or if they were included in sets. If you know, please comment below. I've never seen one in person. It's pretty neat. So keep track of all your Thomas Wooden Railway System friends. And it just goes through all the engines that are available. And I find it interesting how some of these characters, like Duck, the Great Western Pannier Tank Engine, and now we just know him as Duck. So he even has like the Flying Scotsman and stuff. Some neat classic trains. So the next one is fairly quick. It was only made in 2000. And actually, I'll show you this one first. It's pretty much the same style as the 1999 to 2000 one. It just has the new Thomas logo. So not the old one. Now it has this newer one. So it's rickety. And again, these were only made in 2000. And I was going to show you this one first, but then I realized it may be a little confusing. This Dodge and Splatter, it was made for the Thomas and the Magic Railroad series, I guess you could call it. So that's why it's golden. But as you see, it still has the brown, gold, whatever it is, bronze nameplates. And I unfortunately don't own any of those. So those were just printouts I got online. Now we go to 2001, and these were only made in 2001. And we finally have some change. And let me show you. So first we now have a red nameplate. The new logo is on every card. And on the back, there's a slightly shorter description, but it's now in dark blue, or some people call it black lettering. And if you remember the old ones, like this one, it was in red lettering. So you can see the difference. Still has the articulated Topham hat, just the font and the writing is a little bit different. So let's see. Oh, and also another interesting thing is on the bottom, it now says Gullane. I think that's how you pronounce it. I always said Gullin when I was a kid, but I think it's Gullane, not Britt Allcroft. As you see on the old one, it would say the Britt Allcroft Company. Let's see. So this one is Douglas. I remember when I was a young kid, I got this one. I always loved, Donald and Douglas. So it's this one just is kind of special for me. The antics of the Scottish twin, who hates to be parted from his brother Donald, sometimes lead to trouble. They are hard workers who are particularly good at plowing snow. So that's neat. Same thing for this one, for Derek the Diesel. And as you can see, this has been in every way possible. But I just remember being a young kid and looking at this card, probably bending it while I was reading it. Formerly known as Paxman Diesel, Derek is a kind and helpful engine. He was able to convince Bill and Ben, after helping them at the Brendam docks, that not all diesels cause trouble. Just the thing is, it was more at the quarry than the docks, but neat. Yeah, that one's always been a special one to me. Then I have this Ben. When I bought the Bill and Ben pair, this one was also with it. Just, it's a little bit older. Like I said again, it's made in 2001. And Ben and his identical twin Bill are the most teasing and mischievous characters of the whole railway family. So, it was pretty easy. For both twins, they just wrote the same thing. I think that's a little funny. I think this one's interesting. It's slightly off-center. So, there's a lot of space over here, but almost no space on the left. Nothing rare or, valuable. It's just kind of funny. They also made them for rolling stock too, such as this one, Catherine and her truck. Actually, yeah, there's one more thing I wanted to show you. Hopefully you can see it. Here with the logo, it says featuring clickety-clack track underneath Wooden Railway. And I'll show you in the next model, hopefully you'll be able to see it, that they take that away since they move the system to traction rail. And the final one I wanted to show you from 2001 only is a battery-powered James. So they even made these for battery-powered engines as well. Very interesting. Now, here's another very quick one. I only have 2 printed out ones of this one, just because I don't have any in my own collection. They were only made in 2002, and there's only a very small change from the last one. From the first one had a wooden railway featuring clickety-clack track, but since in 2002 they got rid of the clickety-clack track and they made it traction rail, they just called it Thomas & Friends Wooden Railway. So they removed the clickety-clack name underneath the wooden railway. But everything else is the same. Here's like another interesting one, the water tanker. Next, let's talk about the character cards that were made from 2003 to 2007. In 2003, the character cards were overhauled to make them, I guess, more modern and up to date, I guess you would say. Now it features the actual model on some tracks with trees and bushes in the background, a whole nice little setup, as you see. Here's Caroline's card. Now she's on road, and there's like little bushes and a whole sky behind her. A nice professional photo shoot. And on the back, it has a small circle with the engine's face and a longer description of the engine. So this one for Caroline says, Caroline has a calm nature and does not like being pushed along the road too fast. Delicate in engine construction, she prefers the gentleness of narrow country roads, where she can only be driven at 20 miles per hour. She loves the occasional picnic, where she's parked up for the duration. So let's just see some of these others. And just like some of the older ones from 2006 and 2007, they were made more durable. And I'll show you the difference. This one's much thicker than any other character card that was ever made before. This is old slow coaches. And since I was, I guess, quote unquote, collecting the trains, more playing with them, I amassed quite a bit of these. This style, this 2003 to 2007 style character cards. See, some are thick and some are thin. Hopefully I can, I don't know, hopefully, let me see. Hopefully you can see the difference. Caroline is on top and old slow coach is on the bottom. Yeah, they tried to make them more durable because I guess a lot of kids were bending them and, ripping them and stuff. Here's Mighty Mac. This one's an interesting one just because since it has 2 faces, it has 2 circles for both of them, for Mighty and Mac. But they only show Mac's front on the actual card. Poor Mighty. Or Mighty's face, poor Mac, that's it. Oops. So here's Peter Sam. This is an interesting one. It was made in 2003, so the first year of this style. And it features its old style model. And actually a pretty short description too, especially for this era of card. And then finally, here's a Scruffy. I think these were only made in 2006. Yeah, 2006 or 2007 for like limited edition models, along with Toad and New Style Oliver. Yeah, these are the ones I remember the most, just because whenever I would open up a train, the character card would fall out, and good memories. So our quote-unquote final character card we're going to talk about, although there still is one more. This was made from 2007 to 2009. They're pretty much the same as the 2003 to 2007. However, it has the new Thomas logo up in the corner. And the nameplate is in gold. And so is the character's little picture on the back. It's also encased in a gold circle. So this one's Whiff's card. This was 2007, so the first year of issue. The background, everything like that, the train on the rails, it's all the same. It's just the new logo and a little bit of gold that has been added. Here's Billy's card. Billy is a boisterous, bubbly tank engine, bursting with enthusiasm. He's not good at waiting for instruction and has to learn he can't always do it all his way. Billy's a doer, not a thinker, and in the end, always wants to do the right thing. Nicely put. Here's the Sir Handel card from when he was re-released, I think in 2008? Yeah, 2007, 2008 era, around those years. And then finally we have a road vehicle, Madge. I've always liked Madge. I wish they used her more in the series. I don't know how much potential there is, but I liked her episodes. I always thought they were funny, witty, that kind of stuff. And unfortunately, that last model I just showed you, that was the last character card style that was available in the United States in 2009. These are the official final character cards that were ever made. These were only available in 2010 and in Europe. So the front of the card stayed pretty much the same, just has a new logo in the top left corner. The gold is still there, but on the back it's totally different. It still has the character's little circle picture, but it has, of course, first in English, and then it has the little bio in every language you could ever think of. And that's just because since they were in Europe, they had to satisfy all the European countries, I guess. All the world countries with different languages. I don't have any of these. These are all printouts. But they are kind of interesting. Here's Henry's. Henry actually has a really short description. Henry is a long, fast engine with a streamlined look. I think they probably could have done a little better with that description. But it is tough to fit all these languages on one little card. So I don't blame them. And this one, they call it the Sodor Line Carriage. We're used to saying the Sodor Line Caboose, but they called it a carriage. And all with the different languages. It is neat, though, that it has so many different languages on the back. Just, unless you're fluent, you can only understand one or maybe two at the most. Like I said, these were the last character cards to ever be made, and they were only available in Europe in 2010. So they are harder to find, I would say, I would think, than any other kind of character card that's out there. Now, no one really knows why the character card was abandoned. Some speculate that it was to cut costs, in essence, for more profit. And others believe the cards were becoming too much of a hassle for Learning Curve to keep on making. Although we may never know why the character card was discontinued, even though it was so popular. Now let's end on a fun note. Learning curve wasn't perfect. Some funny errors were made in the production of these cards, including this one shows Hero on a European 2010 card, and he's pictured without his tender. And here, Bill and Ben on a 2005 card, the sentence wasn't finished. The character cards will always be remembered. Even though they aren't produced today, their impact on the Thomas Wooden Railway line will never be forgotten. Thank you for watching.